Hi, my name's John. Welcome to Assembly Made Easy. I've got close to 15 years of experience in store assembly, in-home, and delivery of various products. I'm here to show you the basics and the advanced way of being an assembly tech. Alright, starting on these wrenches here, these are all metric. Generally that's all I run into, so if you do have some standard, there are some conversions with them. This 19mm you're going to use majority with the in-grounds and portables. This is my cheater bar. I stick it onto a wrench. Say this one is just too hard to get to it, you just stick it here and use it as cheater bar. This actually fits in a nut that I run into, so you'll see that later on. These right here, I use these a lot. You get in there, you can wrench them down. Makes the job go a little bit faster. These are pliers, vice grips, channel locks, wire cutters, needle nose pliers, and also a crescent wrench. These I do when I run into spots I can't do. We'll use these extensions. I carry a 1/2 inch and a 3/8. Generally you won't run into a 1/2 inch. I take this along with me because if I got to crank down, this is good to have. These 3/8 right here, generally you'll use that majority with all these right here. I keep basically a small one. Sometimes you'll run into a nut that you go into. If you use a deep weld, you can't put that bolt in there, but these are good for if you run into a nut and the actual bolt sticks out too far. This right here is a chisel, which I can't think anymore. I use all these freaking tools. You think I know everything. Anyways, this chisel right here, you're going to use any type of wood that you run into. You've got some sort of damage on there or something, you can use this to cut it out. These bolt cutters, I run into any type of bolt I run into that gets stuck. I can't take it out. It's stuck to a T-nut. This example is a T-nut right here, if I can get it underneath. Sometimes this will be in a location you can't get to the T-nut and the bolt's actually stuck to it. I'll use this to cut it out. This hammer, I'll generally use it with any type that's metal. Stay away from furniture with this. This will do some serious damage on it. This hammer right here is called a furniture hammer. You can get this in any type of local hardware store. I use this every day. This is my favorite tool. This rubber mallet, generally you want to stick with furniture. This file is good for rubbing off any type of burrs. I'll use this if I don't want to use any of my power equipment. This is great to get into small locations. These keys, you're probably wondering why they're on here in the first place. Maybe I forgot they were on there. But this knife, yeah, you cut a lot of stuff with it, but I misplaced this I don't know how many times. These keys, they're always on me. All you do is grab the box, slide it in there, and pull. It'll cut tape. It'll cut saran wrap too, but you know, it's a little bit hard. But these are the basic tools that you're going into your toolbox. I'm going to get in later with the rest of the tools. Okay, I'm also going to get into other basic tools that you're going to be using in your toolbox. These are an assortment of screwdrivers, flatheads. I like to buy them in packs because it's cheaper. If you buy it by the single, it's going to cost you way a bit more. This is a selection that you can also get. You've got your drill bits, paddle bits, extensions for your drills, and your various bits, along with any type of extension that you run into. The tape measure. Of course, I don't know what tape measure is anymore. This tape measure right here, if you ever run into a bolt that you dropped and you can't locate it or anything like that, use this, measure the bolt, match it up to the instructions, and you're good to go. Especially if you have some parts you have to measure. This right here, just your basic electrical tape. This one's a little bit nicer, but anyways, use this to any type of wires that's loose. I use this a lot. These right here, this is just a air tool that you measure air gauge. You measure the air pressure. You want to keep a magic marker on with you if you have to mark any type of box in a store stating that it's missing pieces. This is ideal. If you use the regular pen, a store employee is not going to see it, and it's going to get sold to a customer, which we don't want that. Generally, these are just some basic extensions. This one is actually a flexible extension. If you run into a screw that you can't quite get to, use this. It usually costs a couple dollars. These extensions up here, just adapters that you run for your bits, for your screwdrivers. I attach these a lot to my drills, and I'm good to go. This I carry on like a Swiss Army knife, essentially. It's got all my Allen bits, screwdriver Phillips, so if I run into an issue, I like to keep that on me. Generally, you always want to have eye protection. I wear glasses, so generally I don't use these quite that much, but when you're assembling, you would like to keep these on, because every once in a while something will fly up, whack you in the eye. This is a back support. I call them back braces, whatnot. I like to carry this with me if I'm picking up anything heavy. I like to put this on me. Right here is just a selection of sockets. You've got everything, crescent wrench, just a regular ratchet wrench right here. This will run you about $14 at a Home Depot. It's great to have. I tend to use this a lot. This wasn't my other bit for tools and hardware. This right here, you can go to a local store. It's going to run you about $5–6. You can go to a pawn shop and actually get it for 10 cents. These right here, these are my tools. This is a small drill. This is one of my helper drills. I generally stick with an 18 volt for a drill. Anything I've got to do some real drills with. But this is ideal to start out with. When you go from here, go to this thing. It's an impact wrench. I can take a lug off of a tire with this thing, or I can put a screw into a piece of wood quite easily. These are just a small selection of tools that you're going to have in your toolbox to start out with. Preferably, you do want to keep this on you at all times. I try to keep it simple and basic. The previous video I showed your basic toolbox, what you need as far as tools. My toolbox, personally, I keep it in my truck. I generally only go to it if I have a serious issue. I'll go to it, I'm like, okay, I'll pull this tool out. But generally when I'll go into a store, I want to be in there fast, quick, and out just as fast as I was. So I try to keep it simple. Here's my tools here. This I previously went over. This wraps up. I've got it zips up real quick. It's got a handle. It works great. This is a tool right here. It just locks up. I set this here. These are my extensions. It's not going to sit there. I got my metal cue kit. I'll sit that there. These generally go in there, so it's going to sit over there for now. This is my extension tape measure. This right here, I like to use this when I run into any type of power. I can check the AC or the DC along with the continuity, so it's something I like to keep with me. This is my impact. Of course, I have my extension. I keep my pins and stuff in here. Easy access to it. This is something I carry with me every day, so I'm going to just pack it up here. This is something I have my helpers. Generally, they'll have something basic to this. This tool right here will set you back about $400. So most of my helpers, they'll generally start with a drill. Once they make a decent amount of money, they can go out and buy themselves one of these things. But this is what I bring into the store. It's all simple, easy to carry into it. Generally, I have like one guy or two guys. One guy will, carry this and whatnot. When I do store assembly, I'll have one guy with me. He'll carry some of these in. And the back brace, of course. Anyways, I forget everything nowadays. A lot of things, though, when you go to a store, go get a cart. It's fast, it's easy. You can put all your tools in the cart. You can walk into the store, go to a location that you do the assembly at, and when you leave, put it in the cart, take it to your vehicle.